So you may already know that dating a woman with a strong personality isn't necessarily the same as dating a dominant woman. However, the way you handle a woman with a strong personality and the way you handle a dominant woman are substantially the same. But the most important thing in dating is finding the right woman for you. If you don't, then your relationships could end up very chaotic and end badly. And I think we all kind of know what that feels like. I can help you get it right from the start with a simple test I've come up with, so you can avoid the wrong women like the plague. This will put you in control, because if she fails, you know you should be running for the hills. I'll tell you how the test works soon, but first we need to explore what's the difference between a dominant woman and a strong woman. If you're new to my channel, my name is JORGENSEN. Welcome to Just the Tip Tuesday. But first, what's the difference between a woman with a strong personality and a dominant personality? Because yes, there is a slight difference. Both kinds of women tend to know where they are in the world, who they are in the world, and they have a strong confidence in that. A woman with a strong personality has solid opinions, but can concede or compromise if presented with the right evidence in the right way and even give credit to the other person. Whereas a dominant woman will have a greater challenge in conceding her opinions, and if she does compromise or concede, she will generally find a way of making it her own. And yes, some women have both strong and dominant personalities. Another difference is dominant women tend to be driven and ambitious, whereas a woman with a strong personality may or may not be driven and or ambitious. So here are some tips for dating a woman with a strong personality. Women with strong personalities can be a force of nature. They're often charismatic, persuasive, opinionated, and certain, which makes them a comfort to be around whether you're an alpha male, a beta male, or anywhere on the spectrum. But they don't always need to lead. However, if you're going to date a woman with a strong personality, you need to be secure enough in yourself that you're not going to be self-conscious of her personality or the way people perceive her when you're together. You need to be proud of your woman. So you better like her, because she's not going to put a lid on her personality when you're out together. You can't be worried that your woman is going to outshine you. You have to be secure. So this brings me to a personal story. When I was dating a guy in LA, he was trying to get into television. I won't go into the long sordid details, but he'd been trying for a long time and it just wasn't happening. It was because he had a bad attitude. Anyway, within a week of me moving there, I got offered a commercial. So of course I said yes, but he was really upset that I got in so easily. And from then on in, whenever I was around other TV industry professionals, he really wanted me to keep a lid on my personality, which I did because I thought I was in love with him, but it really stifled who I was. And ultimately, that insecurity didn't work well for me. There were other things as well, but it was something that was not attractive. So the bottom line is, if you don't want your woman to shine her strong personality, you shouldn't be with her. Or you need to work on yourself so that you can be proud of her. You should never be embarrassed about who your partner is. After all, you wouldn't want her to be embarrassed by you, would you? Now, what about a woman with a dominant personality? Unlike a woman with a strong personality, a woman with a dominant personality does need to lead. This means she feels very uncomfortable allowing a man to lead in any area of their lives that she hasn't expressly given permission to. And this makes it really challenging for super alpha masculine men to be with dominant women. If it's her natural personality, there's one time where she might act dominant, but inside she's really not. I'll tell you about that later. It will always be a struggle with potential resentment on both sides unless your values, beliefs, and long-term goals are in such alignment that she feels totally safe with you. Then she can hand over the reins, but she still won't like it. How to handle strong and dominant women? The first thing is fully embrace and accept that part of their personality as is, where is. You can't make a woman with a strong personality less strong without emotionally damaging her and the relationship. And you can't make a dominant woman less dominant unless she's emotionally damaged and being with you helps her work through her baggage. She may have developed dominance as a self-protection mechanism because she was treated poorly as a child. But helping her work through her baggage is a tall order for any man, and there's no guarantee that she's going to stick with you once she becomes emotionally healthy. So the best way to handle a dominant woman and a strong woman is to unabashedly, fully accept her personality and her dominance as is where is. However, you must know yourself. So you need to know if you're the kind of guy who can be with a woman who will always want to take the lead. And if you can, you especially want to make sure that your beliefs and values and goals are in alignment, because she's going to be the one leading the relationship and making most of the deciding decisions. But remember, there's one time where she might be dominant or might seem dominant when she actually isn't. And I'm going to share that with you in just a minute, I promise. And don't feel bad if you are attracted to dominant women. Some men had dominant mothers and they feel comfortable in that dynamic. Some men don't want to have the pressure of having to lead all the time. And if they can find someone they can trust to do the leading, hey, give her the reins. You've got to honor your true needs, and don't worry about what anybody else thinks, and don't worry about society telling you you've got to be the leader in the relationship, or, the alpha masculine man. If that's not who you really are and that's not who you want to be, then just accept yourself. But some of you might be saying, yeah, but will a dominant woman stay with a submissive man, Anna? Will he? Will he? No, wait, will she? Will she? Yes, as long as you don't become a dependent. Non-dominant doesn't mean that you don't have needs, desires, opinions, and boundaries. And it doesn't mean you don't contribute to adulting in the relationship. You do. You're not a child. That's the thing no woman wants. No woman wants a man who she's got to take care of in mother mode. Mother mode, as you know if you watch my videos, equals non-arousal mode. No squeeze, no juice. Now, just before I reveal when she's not really dominant, it's important for you to know what your needs are in the dominant submissive areas so that you know what kind of woman would best suit you as a partner. Now, a woman with a strong or dominant personality may not be in and of itself a deal breaker, but you do want to watch for the real red flags. And sometimes you meet a woman who appears dominant, but really it's just because she's been hurt in the past and has been let down, and she's learned to take care of herself. But really deep down, she's just waiting to meet a strong, capable, dominant man that she can actually trust, so that she can allow herself to relax into her submissive. How to know if she's really dominant or not? Well, there's these things called shite tests that are very effective. Oftentimes, if she's dominant, she might test you. And if you want to find out if she's dominant, you might even test her. Women's tests are a subconscious and unconscious way of figuring out where you fall on the dominance submissive scale by how you handle those tests. Discover if she's really dominant or not. You need to actually be tested by her and then handle those tests and gauge her reaction and test her. And unless you can do this, you're going to walk blindly into every relationship. And it could be a really bumpy ride that could end up in disaster. But when you know how to test her, you can discover if she meets your standards. And if she does, then sparks can fly, and you can have that whirlwind romance with the perfect gal for you. Someone who's going to support you and treat you right and not come with unnecessary drama. Plus, when you test her, you become the selector. She'll see that you're not needy like other guys, and this is very attractive to the ladies. All it takes is a few simple steps. So watch how to test her.